They pepper sprayed the inmate.
I don't care. Handcuffs. She gonna get it. Stand right here. Lock her down. Lock her down.
I'm Katie Piper, and I'm spending a month inside one of the most notorious jails in America.
A little bit nervous because there's always that trepidation of how are they going to receive me.
15 years ago, a violent attack changed my life forever.
They probably don't think that I've had an insight to that life. I spent a lot of time thinking I should have killed him.
And since then, I've been trying to understand why people commit violent acts.
Do you regret it?
Do I regret it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So by spending time with those accused of the most shocking crimes.
Possibly quite a lot of people are there for murder. A naive side of you can think, I would never kill anyone.
And becoming a part of their world.
Oh, it's a strap-on for you to do it to the other girl.
I'm getting to know the women on the inside.
You want back there?
To find out what drove them to kill.
Some people's stories don't add up.
So you just stand there and you listen to whatever they have to say.
Understand where they came from.
Some people's stories are really sad.
I don't feel like I'm dying, but then I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like.
And ask if violence can ever be justified.
I don't actually remember pulling the trigger, but the gun went off.
In 2022, a new sheriff took office in New Orleans and has been working hard to try and reduce the crime rate of the city. But Louisiana has a complicated history with incarceration. The state locks up a higher percentage of people per capita than any democratic country in the world. So I'm in its largest city at Orleans Parish Prison, a pre-trial facility where over 1,200 detainees are awaiting trial and sentencing.
It's a long haul.
I know, it kind of makes me nervous.
Captain Picard was born and raised in New Orleans and has been working here for 25 years. She's one of 3 captains in charge of the day-to-day running of the jail. She knows many of the residents well, as a lot of them are repeat offenders.
Girl, I know you ain't come back to no jail, huh? It's just a little setback, that's all. For a major comeback, you're right. It's all right, hold your head up, girl, you got this.
I'm joining her on the morning inspection of the women's block, known as a pod. I'll be spending the next month with 120 women here, who make up approximately 10% of the jail population.
So this is like the communal area.
This is their day floor area.
Is this where people eat?
Mm-hmm. But I see a lot of rooms is dirty.
Is that a choice then? You have to tidy up or?
Yes. Okay, about the cleanest one so far. All right.
So is it 2 people or 1 person per
2 people.
2 people. Okay, some people just have
Some
one.
people
though.
have one, maybe because of their condition or the sickness. Hey, Jody.
Hello, how you doing?
You all right? Feeling good? Feeling better. I told you, one day at a time. I'll be back. Okay. All right. You can go ahead and let the bottom out. Catch your dogs.
Despite efforts by the new administration, New Orleans was recently dubbed the murder capital of the states. And the rate of violent crime here is still twice the national average.
I see y'all running to them showers.
The women are no exception, and many of them end up here to await their fate.
So how long are they in now?
So they're gonna be in the bottom will come out until 5 o'clock.
Oh, okay, so separate rec times, okay.
The top and bottom cells are currently on separate lockdowns as a punishment because of fighting between some of the residents.
Why is this trash right here in front of this door like this here? Princess, so you really like serious right now? And it's nasty. Who want to pick up this, Princess?
That's cleaning.
So you want to be on lockdown? Don't you telling me? Well, you know what? When you figure it out, let me know the answer. Girl, you really done blew me from that. Y'all know I can't stand filth. I can't.
So the women are all out of lockdown at the moment, and they're kind of having like rec time, watching telly, playing basketball. So I think I'm going to head over there and see if I can play cards. I mean, I'm rubbish at cards, but, you know, see if I can sit with them and hang out. Hey.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing? Can I sit down with you? Yeah, okay. What card game are you playing?
Jim Burmy.
Yeah, can I play? Yeah, I mean, I say can I play, I have no idea how to play, so...
Basically, the object of the game is to get 3 cards in a row.
Okay, any suit?
Yeah, any suit.
Okay.
And she just taught me how to play it, but...
Oh, okay. Yeah. Are you any good?
It depends on how the cards run.
I'm Katie. Nice to meet you.
I'm Tanika. One shot and it hit him in his head and he died instantly. My name is Tanika. I'm 47 years old. I've been charged with second-degree murder.
Police say his wife, Tonica, was the last one to see him and is facing 1 charge of second-degree murder and a charge of obstruction of justice.
What things do you do to pass the time, then?
We go to group. We also have church.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to pick a card. It's too early days.
You have any matches?
So I need 3, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, this is not my time to be out, but I had court this morning.
Have you had a good day?
Yeah, kind of, sort of.
What would be a good day in here?
No problems.
Yeah.
No arguments, no fights, prior to coming here. My life was pretty chaotic. I met my husband through some friends of mine, and he took a liking to me. He was, so to speak, a troublemaker. He was in and out of juvenile, in and out of jail. When I was 15, that was the first time he hit me. And I was a fighter, I fought back. Although I didn't have any win, but I did fight. I did try to fight back. If you're not a strong person, you will let it take you under.
Oh, okay.
She won.
Well, thanks for teaching me cards. Yeah, I think I'll need to do a few more games until I get up to your standard. All right, nice to meet you,
Nice
babe.
meeting you.
Yeah, thank you.
Tell me something positive. I'll wait. I woke up this morning and heard you telling us another day about this top and bottom negative. Top and bottom until I decide when I get with the other ranks, we'll let y'all know. Ladies, click it or ticket. Let's go. Let me hear it click. There you go, I heard it. Click it.
It's stressful. I feel stressed out and I'm not even working here. There's just like 1 minute people are crying. Some people are sad, some people are happy, some people are frustrated and angry.
Some people adapt to it, some people don't.
What would you do? I think I would just adapt.
If I know that I'm not going home right away, I will have to adapt to the rules and regulations.
Yeah, I just
Because
give
if
in.
not, you will be on lockdown.
Yeah.
I don't make the rules, I enforce them. Let's roll.
I've been told Tanika, who I played cards with earlier, was in an abusive relationship before being remanded here, which sadly is really common. In fact, almost 3/4 of women in jail report having experienced domestic violence. Although the outcome of Tanika's situation is different to most.
I have lots of pictures. This is me and my deceased husband.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How long ago was that?
That was in 2018, I think.
Okay.
And this was us 26 years ago.
Oh, wow.
With my husband, I never knew what mood he was in when he came home. If he was drinking and, it was a lot of chaos, we always kept in contact. We got back together December of 2015. We were married by the following year. The meetings didn't come until maybe a month later, and they never stopped. I love my husband. As sad as it was, I knew he was a cheater. I knew he was abusive. I knew all of these things before I married him. I loved him.
Did he love you?
I think he did because, throughout the years, he could have married anyone. He could have married anyone, but he chose me to marry.
But chosen for a life of abuse.
Right. Right. And it caused me to end up here. We argued and physically fought at least 3 or 4 times out of the week. He wasn't letting up that night. I felt like I was, I was losing consciousness. Yeah, I truly felt like I would die. The next day passed, and no one came to the house.
Tonica admitted that she shot her husband. She says it was in self-defense. He was reportedly found in the closet under a pile of clothes.
What was your plan? What did you think?
I didn't have a plan. I didn't know what I was gonna do.
Was there a file that he had, that there had been domestic violence against?
Yes. I was defending myself.
Do you regret it?
Do I regret it?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Why?
Because I love my husband. I love him. I truly love my husband. And I miss him so much. I can't explain it. I've been in love with this man for a long time. For me, I went through hell. And the sad thing, just to have his life back, I would endure it all again.
Do you feel like a murderer?
No, because I'm not. No, I don't.
Does your attorney say what they think you might be facing now?
If I was to take it to trial and lose, it would be a mandatory life sentence.
How long is that?
Till death. Louisiana, they say is life is life.
What does it take for a woman to think, actually, no, I deserve better?
I think I have to stop trying to choose the wrong kind of guys.
Yeah, but they chose you. I have my own experience of domestic violence. In my situation, I was attacked twice. I was beaten and raped. Then a couple of days later, I had acid thrown in my face. But I suppose I had that moment that you had where I felt like he was beating me, he was going to kill me. But I always thought that if someone was going to kill me, I would defend myself.
Right.
But what happened to me is I froze out of fear. And I didn't do anything to him. And then the next couple of days later, somebody threw the acid at me.
If I had to do it different, I wouldn't have chose him.
But that's domestic violence. You don't meet somebody for a first date and they go, hey, guess what? I'm going to beat the shit out of you throughout this relationship. People don't present like that. I spent a lot of time in hospital, very different from prison, but
Right.
I spent time in isolation in a bed,
Right.
thinking I should have killed him. It's really early in the morning. I feel like I'm the only person in New Orleans that's up. With Tonica, she was in this relationship full of really extreme violence. And I would never sit here and say, like, oh, I've had an experience like Tonica, because I haven't. But I suppose the one shared experience we both have is we've been, in our lives, attacked by somebody where, for that moment, in that frenzy, you think they might kill you. Before I came on this project, I had an unexpected emergency. All my injuries are because I'm a victim of a violent crime. These are permanent injuries that will always need medical treatment. Working with women in jail, if not all of them, a large percent of them have created victims with life-changing and lifelong injuries just like mine. And it's really important to never lose sight of this.
Good morning.
Hey, how you doing?
All right.
Good. Good to see you again.
Yes.
Right, okay, nice and early today.
Yeah.
Another day in paradise?
Yes. Another day.
Thanks.
Good morning. Roll call. Roll call. All right. Good morning, y'all. We don't have a lot to pass on. Understand when you walk on the pods with these residents, your body camera must be in full mode. And another thing, do not take these uniform shirts off. People, repeat, do not take these uniform shirts off. Put these skates up. Nobody will be walking around this jail. Other than that, let's have a good day, all right?
The jail runs 24 hours a day, so roll call is needed to pass on any information about issues that might have happened during shifts to ensure everyone's safety.
Good morning, good morning. What?
Hey? Maybe.
And leave at 9 o'clock. You know, that's the time we come out, you know.
What happens at 9?
Time.
What happens at 9? What do you do at 9 o'clock then?
I be going to get booted. No, I'm just...
I knew it had something to do with sex. I knew it had sex. Oh, you're blushing. You're going like red. Look, it's gone like burgundy. So are you the popular one then?
Oh, no. I'm a scary one. You can be my girlfriend.
Yeah, I'm married.
I want to get married, too. Get married together.
I beat you to it already.
Oh, that's your married ring?
Yeah, yeah.
That's cheap. I could have got you something.
Well, so there are a lot of relationships in here then.
No.
Is it sex or is it relationships?
I don't call it no relationship.
Do you talk to the men? Is that how you talk to?
Yeah, I don't talk to no men, though. I don't like men.
But you can still talk. You hate them. When did you start hating them?
When I was like 7.
Wow.
But I watched my daddy beat my mama, so, you know.
Yeah.
My girlfriends, you know, they catwomen.
Catwomen?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
They like to fight.
Oh, is that why you got the blaster? Okay. What did you fight about?
What we had a fight about? Oh,
Yeah.
Because she ain't had no more commissary, so I ain't want to be with her no more.
Because she didn't have any commissary.
called-
That would hurt somebody though, no?
Oh, that's on them. They should know what they feelings about. I'm getting my chips.
Ruthless.
Yep.
All right, I'll see you soon, yeah?
All right. Make
Nice
sure
to
you
see
come back. When you come back tonight, you come at 7:30 to 9 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
All right.
See you later.
Despite the laughs, it's hard to ignore the fact that violence in relationships is such a common theme in here. I spot Tanika, who I met yesterday.
How's the day been today?
Sometimes there's nothing going on, and then some days there's a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah. What do you prefer?
I prefer calmness.
Do you ever get into any arguments with people?
Of course.
Oh, you do?
Of course. About 3:30 that morning, he came to the door banging on the door, and I refused to let him in. Then he started to threaten that he would bang on the neighbor's doors. So I finally let him in, and when I opened the door, immediately he started to choke me. I tend to not to be able to let things go so easily. I was like in my, late 30s, early 40s to realize that that was a problem.
Yeah. How do you come to that realization?
Well, for me, it came through my daughter.
Right.
And I see a lot of me in her.
Are your kids in touch with you? Do you phone?
yes.
Yeah. So you phone them
Yes,
and
yes,
yeah,
yes.
that's good.
Yeah.
How old are your kids now then?
My kids are 25 and 22. My children hated the relationship, my son especially. He pointed the gun at my son. And even still, I didn't leave him. It was just my circumstances that I was in. Growing up, I experienced a lot of abuse from my mom.
Okay.
Physical abuse, yes. My mama did it to me, and I know she loved me. If she did it to me, then you know, this must be the love.
Yeah.
You know, I started using drugs heavily.
Yeah.
And so that was to numb the pain that I was going through and stuff like that. And that's what ended me up here. The first time I was introduced to drugs was through him. It was cocaine. I was 17. Yeah, I fell in love with it. Yeah. And it gradually moved to heroin, and then it got to the fentanyl. Because the heroin was laced with the fentanyl.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
Do you think jail does something good for you?
I think jail is necessary, but sometimes it gives you hopelessness.
Hearing about Tanika's past helps explain how she became trapped in the relationship for so long.
Can I give you a hug? Yeah.
It takes people on average 7 attempts to leave an abusive partner for good. Tanika and her husband had separated many times throughout their lives, and I wonder if she would ever have managed to get out.
But I'll come find you tomorrow, shall
Okay.
I? Yeah. It's not like someone talking to you about an incident, it's someone talking to you about their whole life. It's a very desperate situation, I think.
It can regularly reach 90 degrees in New Orleans, and the small rec yard is the closest to the outside that the women can get.
Okay, so you don't go outdoors then? This is outdoors?
This is outdoors.
I think that's what I would struggle with. I would miss the sky.
It's the only fresh air you're gonna get is right here.
You take what you can get, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
They could play ball, which I never make it, so.
Shoot your shot. Let's have a look. How good are you? It's not bad. I'm confident. I'm going to shoot my shot.
I think it's too high. Ooh.
Oh, it's high. It's
It's
very
too high.
Too bad. You were close. You were close.
There's little to do here to pass the time, and with so many women waiting years for a proper trial, support from other residents must be really important. I've noticed a few of the women aren't out socialising with everyone else. I met Jodie during Captain Picard's morning rounds. She's been in and out of jail, but is here awaiting trial on her first violent charge.
Yeah, Jodie.
Yes.
Yeah. How's your day been?
I was feeling a little bad this morning, but I'm feeling better now.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. How long have you been here?
2 years.
Do you know how much longer you'll...
I'm set for trial in November.
How are you feeling about that?
I'm hopeful. My attorney says I have a good case.
Okay. That's good.
Yeah. But I also might start getting sicker around that time.
So you're not very well?
I have leukemia. In April, they told me that I have 9 months left to live.
So will this be taken into consideration with your case?
No, my attorney said no.
How do you cope with that?
I lay in here and I think, because I don't have anyone to talk to.
Yeah. Did you think you would end up here?
Yeah, I knew it was coming. Just the life I was living, it always ends up in jail or death.
What was your life like before you came here?
When I was younger, I had a good life.
Okay.
I had a great, upbringing. And then in my late 20s, I got addicted to drugs.
Right, okay.
And that's what landed me here.
Right.
So I went through everything that an addict goes through, which is pretty much like a living hell. And ever since then, I've been in and out of being in jail, being incarcerated. Being here and being sober is better than being free and being on drugs.
Because there's no freedom when you're using?
No. It's worse than this kind of bondage.
This would be a really difficult thing to navigate in the free world, but navigating it in jail was something else.
It's rough. It's rough. I mean, I don't feel like I'm dying, but then I don't know what I'm supposed to feel like.
Talking to Jodie was interesting. I don't know what she did to wind up there, and I felt like it wasn't the right time to ask her that. I felt sat on that bunk with her, how alone she was. I think naturally I felt sorry for her because the one thing she doesn't have is time, and what that whole incarceration and process takes up is time. the kids all right?
Yeah, they're all good. How are you anyway? What's going on?
Yeah, I miss you guys. I miss the kids. Because it's hard with the time difference, isn't it? Like,
Little P's already saying, how many days is it?
you know, before I left, I was talking to her in her room and trying to sort of explain to her about where I'm going, what I'm doing. And she was like, so you're going to prison? I was like, yeah. And she was like, so what have you done wrong now? Love you.
I love you lot.
Speaking with my husband about my children reminds me of everything that the women have left behind.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see somebody running, so that means it tells me something going on different, right?
It's like when the teacher's away and you get that supply teacher.
This morning, the women are looking to the future. They're given their horoscopes each week, and I've spotted Jodie reading hers.
I'm a Libra.
Oh, same. Yeah, I'm a Libra. Okay. What does it say?
It says, it's been a lone and lonely road, Libra, a long and lonely road. But the good thing is you're no ordinary being. You're blessed with the spirit of a warrior and the resilience of an athlete. Diamonds are indeed formed under pressure.
Oh, I like that. What bits do you relate to?
That diamonds are formed under pressure.
Yeah?
Because I'm under so much pressure, legally and medically.
Tell me about the legal pressure.
I was leaving the casino, and all of a sudden I was arrested. And I was told that I was being arrested for second-degree murder.
That must have been so shocking.
Yeah, and supposedly the murder happened months before my arrest.
Oh, okay, so it's not like you were at a crime scene.
No.
Okay, I didn't realize that.
It's been tough. It was an embarrassing charge on my family.
Right.
You know, my kids took it hard. I took it hard. I've been here for 2 years fighting it.
That's a long time.
Yes. About a year into my stay is when I found out I was sick. So this last year has been double hard.
I mean, I know a little bit about you, but I guess there was some kind of long road that led you to your charges that have brought you here.
My addiction started when I was 28 and I'm 49 now, so it's been a roller coaster of like 20 years.
What led you to start the drugs?
I don't know. I was just at a bad time in my life, and I went out to a party, and they had cocaine there, so I started with cocaine, and it never stopped.
I've been recovering from using heroin.
20 years ago, Jodie took part in a labour and birth documentary. It was relatively early in her addiction, which would eventually derail her life. She was about to have a second child, who she would later place in the care of her parents.
All I want is for everything to be okay and be normal.
Jodie's been advised not to talk about her case by her attorney, but news reports say she's accused of shooting a woman in an apartment after an argument. She allegedly fled the scene, but was identified by a witness as the shooter.
So does your attorney think you stand a good chance of proving your innocence?
Yes. You know, I want to die at home with my children instead of in jail.
Bless the Lord.
Lots of the women here are fighting the severity of their charges, but Jodie is adamant that she's innocent. The murder charge she's facing means she'd spend her final days incarcerated if she's found guilty, which must feel heart-wrenching if you believe you're not.
He has done great things. Bless his holy name. God is real. Don't ever give up hope. And you know, sometimes it's because of circumstances that you wound up here. Sometimes it was the family that you were born in. Anybody have any spoken prayer requests? Yes.
I had a dramatic change in my case. Hopefully it's for the best.
Okay.
I don't want to go too much into it, but I just need assurance that, that the right decision has been made.
Let me tell you something, you are God's child. God is on your side. That's the bottom line. Go in there believing
I'm not talking about being released for everybody, because that's not gonna happen. Okay? But I'm talking about mercy. I am talking about, hey, God, he's giving me a second chance. Nobody can stop you from dreaming. Write it down. That's why I brought y'all those notebooks that y'all been writing them love letters on to those guys. I know. Thank you right now for the word of God. Amen. Amen. Love y'all.
Thank you for coming. Back on my. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down.
Watch out.
Sit down. Let go.
Kill what you talking about.
Pipe it down. Pipe it down.
We do though.
Pipe it down. Step in yourself. Back up. Back up for a minute. Okay. You gonna be on lockdown for the rest of your stay. You gonna see?
The atmosphere in here can change in a split second.
So y'all, but guess what, though? Her store will be restricted, and I'm not playing with you. Come Monday morning, I promise you. Matter of fact, I'm doing your phones and stuff right now. I'm gonna show you.
In church, Tanika spoke about some news on her upcoming trial. And I've been told she might be able to get a domestic violence expert on her case.
So what do you hope, right, that the expert will bring to your case that's not there already?
I hope that, you know, that they'll be able to show the impact that the abuse has had on me.
Yeah.
And also that they'll be able to show that, you know, the position that I was in, I had no choice but to defend myself. Yeah. And, you know, so I'm hoping that they'll see that it was justifiable homicide.
If the gun hadn't went off that night, I would wind up in the hospital because he would have beat me more. And it would have been bad. And he probably would have shot me.
You want to not give up, but then you also don't want to get your hopes up where you get disappointed.
You know, when you're in here, you have to become a person that you're not just to survive.
You've got quite a lot of family support, haven't you?
I just talked to my daughter and my son today. My oldest granddaughter, she was talking about a beetle.
Oh, right, yeah.
But I said, did you kill it? Of course not, Mimi. It's not worthless, it's harmless. And I'm like, oh, okay, she's 6.
Yeah.
These kids are getting smarter. As generations go by, they're getting very smart.
I have feelings of missing my family. I was very close with my kids and my grandkids. And I still have a relationship with them, but not the relationship that I want.
Do you ever feel angry?
No, because I believe that I had to go through what I had to go through to understand who I was. And it made me the strong person that I am.
Even though Tanika has admitted her crime, I can't help but feel sad, as I know it's likely that even if her charge gets reduced, she'll still face many years behind bars. Louisiana has notoriously harsh sentencing laws, having the highest number of people per capita in the world facing life without parole. It's another early morning in New Orleans, and I'm feeling very conflicted about Tanika's imprisonment.
I suppose the reason why my response in my own attack was so different to Tanika's is because I didn't endure a lifetime of domestic violence. I never thought I would ever say that it's okay to take another life, and I'm not directly saying that, but if Tanika went back and hadn't have killed her husband, it's not like there was some kind of alternative, wholesome outcome where everything could have been different and everything could have been better.
The women are up and about this morning, and the atmosphere feels positive. Jody has been waiting on some important medical results that might help determine how long she has left.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm okay.
Any news from your biopsy?
No, they didn't take me, so the results must not be in.
So when you're expecting to go, like today, and they change it, do they give you any detail?
I'm not really supposed to know when I have an appointment because of security reasons.
How does that feel?
A little disappointed. I wanted to find out whether it was good or bad news. I just wanted to know.
Yeah, either way.
Right, it's the not knowing that gets to you. It just leaves me feeling aggravated.
Can you end up overthinking?
Just thinking about dying, leaving my kids. Yeah.
Are you scared of dying?
A little bit. I've made somewhat peace with it. I struggle at times. But I come out here and I get myself around the ladies and they get my mind off of it.
Yeah, you actually have a lot of people that seem to care about you here.
There's a part of each day that I honestly, I really enjoy because they're like, one of them will make me laugh or we'll have a good conversation, or it's just always someone around to lift my spirits.
Jodie has claimed her innocence since she arrived here, well before she got her diagnosis. Facing 2 life sentences feels unjust, and I'm not sure what keeping her behind bars will achieve. Tanika's moving forward with trying to get an expert witness on her case and wants to show me some information she's found about a historic case similar to hers.
What happened was her and her husband had been together for a number of years, but at the time, her and her husband got into an altercation, and she grabbed the gun and she accidentally shot him.
Right, okay. And what happened to her?
She was charged with second-degree murder. She was convicted, although there were multiple reports over the years of him abusing her. She had actually been in jail for 11 years, and they were able to get her case reheard, and she had a new trial, and then she had expert witnesses, doctors and stuff, saying how these beatings had traumatized her, and she wanted self-defense.
Right, okay.
She walked away with justifiable homicide.
So has this case given you hope?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. The DA cited this. My husband has been in jail for multiple violent crimes. I've sent him to jail for domestic abuse a couple times. No person deserves to be humiliated and embarrassed and, to be having to go through that kind of pain.
I want you to get out of here, and I do support you in everything you say. But you know that line of, I'm not a violent person? You've crossed the line of taking a life.
Right.
It is a violent act, would you agree?
Right. I agree. I agree. But, I know it wasn't intentional.
How often do you think about the crime and the consequence? Or is it something that you've...
I don't think I'll ever get over it.
What if you get backed into a corner again and you feel scared again? Could you ever kill someone again?
I don't believe so. I'm gonna move forward in life. For me, death and violence was an everyday thing where I grew up. It was not uncommon for me to be walking home from school and there's a dead body. The first time I actually saw somebody shoot somebody, I think I might have been 6 or 7 years old.
It's a lot.
It is. It is.
I think that I'm not capable of murder, but do you think I'm wrong? Maybe I am.
I think it depends on the situation you're put in. If you're in a position where you're fighting for your life and it's either you or that other person, I'm sure you're going to choose you.
Right.
I think anybody's capable of it.
I think Tanika had a choice of, say, 40+ years in jail or another 40+ years at the hands of this abuser and the domestic violence. And I have to say, I would have chosen the road that Tanika chose.
I've only been here a week, but the days are long. I can only imagine the pain of spending years locked up in here, often waiting on even getting a trial. But there is joy to be found too. Captain Picard has gathered the women round with promises of music and dancing.
I'm gonna bring my speaker. All right, but I can't do it now. I do the tongue.
Oh, here she goes.
No. Let the floor. I just want. I can't do the tongue. I don't know how they do the tongue. I think I'm confused. Who run the world?
Girls.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. No, you ain't no turning. I'm gonna go get the speaker so you can hear it. Now, you gotta watch. Okay, I need another roll. Another roll right here. Come on. Come on. Come on. You know, we have backstories. It's not always as cut and dry as they make it seem. If you're a woman that's dealing with abuse, get out. I'm here as a living witness. It becomes a cycle that you cannot get out of. And the only way you're gonna escape it is either death or jail.
I'm not worried about the life sentence from the courts anymore. I don't have that much time left. It made me think about everything I missed with my family. All I can do is talk to them and tell them how much I love them now.
I do understand why people do certain things, and like what might seem unthinkable from the outside is only that way to you because you've never experienced those extremes in life. We all have choice, but sometimes choice can be me or them.
Next time.
I'm not going back into gang banging or toting guns.
Miss Destiny, have a seat.
I can't really remember everything because I wasn't in my right state of mind at the time.
I need a fist to throw